Hello everybody and welcome out to the location of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We're in the DGSRacing.com GT3 challenge for week 7 here in the series. Normally I'd be driving. I do love Le Mans, but I'm up here in the booth tonight to bring you guys the action. Right now qualifying is underway, and I think it was 10 minutes total of qualifying, so if these guys got out immediately, they may be able to do 2 timed laps, but that's going to be it. Likely have another 5 minutes after the checkered flag flies here in qualifying for everybody to finish their lap, so probably got a good 7 or 8 minutes until we start gritting. Probably take a quick intermission once everybody finishes up their laps, and we'll be back for race time. Yeah. I wonder how the Mercedes drives around here. Got a good mix of cars out here. Got some Corvettes, obviously the Porsches. Bunch of Mustangs, Lamborghini for Brady Powers. And obviously the Mercedes for Davis Greenwell. Hayden Lowell, first time on the board, 4 minutes and 0.5. Followed by Marcus Hagman. Second lap put in there, a 4:01.5. Followed by a 4:03.1 by John Neckrich. And Davis Greenwell, 4:02.5 up to third. Cliff Mullins, a 4:09.6. Cliff, you got to step that up. Sorry, Cliff. Hey, the fact you got a 4-minute lap in at qualifying pace is already pretty impressive. That Mustang's looking good, by the way. I don't know who made that, but that color scheme is great. Guessing Adam. Those things sound glorious. Blake Jackson up to second in the Porsche, 4:01.2. Oh, so he gets loose. Sorry, gets a little oversteer on that second lap, so he's going to have to tow it and call it there. We have an extra 6 minutes here in qualifying, so we do have some drivers still out there. Hayden Lowell, one of those, still finishing up his lap.
Ooh.
Ah, hi. God, that scared me. I kind of forgot you were doing this. I think it's going to be quite a close race in the first couple of laps because of the draft.
Hey, Lucas, you're muted again, just so you know.
You're apparently muted.
Yeah,
so
apparently. I don't like how
anyway,
much, I don't like how much attitude Cliff puts into that every time. Really,
he really does. He says it with a purpose, doesn't he?
He really does.
Hey, you made it again.
Lucas asked what my thoughts were about
You're
this
welcome.
with a close field and a big track, and my basically my TLDR is it's going to be close because of a lot of drafting,
muted again,
and the second part of the lap is where things are going to get spread out. If people just don't make mistakes, I don't think this race is won by more than 5 or 6 seconds, no matter who wins it.
Definitely. Well, we're looking forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Lucas.
That was Hayden Walls starting on the pole. He's going to be starting first. Blake Jackson on the outside. Marcus Hagman third. Matthew Kuhn fourth. David Screenell fifth. John Eckert sixth. Andy Eckert seventh. Cliff Mullins eighth. Brady Powers ninth. Harry Grindell 10th. Garrett Warren in 11th. Michael Edwards in 12th. And Daniel Llewellyn starting 13th tonight. I thought we were coming to the final corner there. My knowledge of Le Mans is a little dated. Haven't driven this track in a while, so it's going to take some getting used to. I tried to get a track map set up for tonight. It would have been really useful. But couldn't find a software that had this track in the track map, so here we are. We'll just have to make do.
Broadcaster does not know this track.
Oh, Daniel. I bet you don't know this track. Oh, we're going to see old... Oh, he's starting from the pits. That's probably a good thing, Daniel. That's probably a good thing. We also have Brady Powers there in the pits. Michael Edwards, who did join the session, but not on track. So.
That's all right. I don't either. I'm going to probably run off the track.
Here we go. Green flag in the air. Hayden Lowe gets us started, but a good run for Blake Jackson in the 69. And side by side into turn one. That was hard left-hander. Powers trying to hold on to Kuhn. And they'll single file out to this portion. Making their way out of this long straightaway here after these couple of corners. And this is where things get crazy with the drafting.
Blake, I'm sorry about that, by the way. I was trying to give the 33 room and the tires weren't on yet.
Oh no, you're fine, dude.
Hayden looking back at Blake Jackson. Heading into the first chicane. Hayden will trying to break the draft a little bit. Now on this next straightaway up to the second chicane. And a big train of cars right there. Top six are all right in line with each other. Harry Grindell's already made his way up to 7th, so good job to Harry making quick work. Pace seems to be there in the race as well. And he's got a big gap to overcome, 2 seconds up to 6th. They come over the hill into this right-hander. Hayden's still holding on to it. We head through the run to Indianapolis, apparently. Switched that camera a little too soon. Apologies for that, but here we go into Indianapolis. Top 6 still seem to be the same order here. They're now making up some time. Cliff Mullins trying to fend off Andy Neckrich. Oh, look at the back bumper of that 37. Now looks to the left. It'll be door to door. Now back to single file. Cliff Mullins hangs on for another corner. Oh, Neckrich loose into the left side barrier. That was a concrete barrier. That's going to do some damage to that 07 car. We went off of his car just as that happened. We'll take a look at what happened right here. The car just stepped out and couldn't recover it. He's going to end up with some damage from that. Meanwhile, top 2 started to pull away. Hayden Lowe with a decent lead, actually. Not sure how he ended up building that. Oh no, Cliff Mullins with a destroyed car. He's missing everything on that 37. No spoiler, the front bumpers caved in. What happened to the Cliff? Oh, the same thing as the 07. The car just steps out. Back end gets a little free. Meanwhile, 4th and 5th. Greenwell trying to hold Hagman behind him. Now that 12 is going to make the move to the left of Greenwell. Andy Neckrich gets back around Cliff Mullins. Much less damage on the 07 than the 37. 37 is going to have to take a fast repair next time he passes the pits. And speaking of pits, those are going to be a big question mark. I don't think they'll have to take fuel, but they're only going to make around 7 or 8 laps around this racetrack. It sounds like, oh, that's a short race, but with 4-minute lap times at a time. I remember this is a very large racetrack. I think it's 7 or 8 miles, somewhere around there. Top 3 about 2 seconds apart from each other. Greenwell about a second back from the 33. Greenwell still trying to hold off the 12 Hagman, while Harry Grindell has caught the top 6. A few tenths back from the 6 of John Neckrich. Meanwhile, Hagman makes the move to the right, possibly to Greenwell. No, not quite there. Thought about it. Showed his nose. Nothing there yet for Hagman. Just trying to bait the 20 into a mistake is really all that is. Daniel Llewellyn is out. What happened to Daniel? Try to take a look here in a moment. I think it happened on lap 1. Oh, Cliff Mullins has another issue, it looks like. No downforce on the rear of that car is going to make it hard to drive. And he doesn't like it hard to drive. And there it is. Goes over the rumble strips and it goes around again. It has not been a good race so far for Cliff. Battle here, Harry Grindell trying to to get around the 6th, and he does. Up in the 6th place for Grindel. Brady Powers looks like had a problem. 22 Lamborghini gets the outside wall, and then the car goes around on him, and I think he tows it. Might be another DNF already. We still got over 20 minutes left in this. Hagman looking to the left again. Gonna be tough to make that pass on the chicane though. Tried to stick the nose in there, just wasn't there once again. It's really hard to pass in these cars. It's all momentum based, and especially when you have a massive straightaway like this, you gotta use all the drafting to your advantage. Greenwell holding on though. Doing a great job defending that spot. Don't want to fall for the tricks of the car behind you showing his nose and making all these crazy moves. Just got to run your race, make sure you don't give him the lane he wants and the opportunity to outbrake you. You can try to hold on to that spot as long as you're close enough in pace. And I don't think Greenwell is really any meaningful way slower than the 12 is. I think they're both fairly even. It's just the 12 is getting that draft from Greenwell, and well, when these cars are very even with each other, it's the allows the 12 to make these moves and try to get around. Same with the 33 and the 69. 69 of Jackson has closed in. And Hayden Lowell now 5 seconds over the 33 of Koo. Oh no. What does that mean, Zach? Everybody getting the dirt gravel runoff right there. Brindell back in 7th again. Looks like Neckrich got back around him. That's surprising. I think Harry might have had a problem. Oh, internet problems? I think that was it. I think he might have just slowed down because of his internet. That put him back in 7th. Now he's going to get back around Neckrich, but he's lost a ton of time to those 4 cars that were shortly in front of him. He now has a 3-second gap to make up. At his pace, I think he might be able to do, but he's really got to be on his A game for the rest of this race. Meanwhile, these top 5, not excluding Hayden, who just ran a 359. They are all right by each other. And Jackson does get around Koo. Both two have been trading positions a couple times throughout this race. Hagman's still trying to find a way around Greenwell. Just nothing coming of it yet. Brindell and Neckrich, they're pretty close to each other. Hayden Lowell just up here cruising. 6 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Gotta be pretty boring for him right now. Hagman looked again to try to make a move on Greenwell. I don't think this straightaway is where you want to do it. It's going to have to be at the end. Going into the Mulsanne corner, I think. How you say it? Oh man. The hardcore endurance guys are going to be having a field day with time. Talking about this place. Jackson, I think, got a slowdown penalty. He had to give up all 3 of those spots. He falls back to 5th. Greenwell looks to the left of Koo. Good run out of the second chicane. And he clears the 33. So the 20 up into second. Davis Greenwell running a very good race right now. Not a lot of mistakes from him. I don't think I've really seen any. Ran a phenomenal race so far. And that's what happens when you are virtually mistake-free, is you make up a lot of spots. Now he's just got to stay that way halfway through this race in 15 seconds. On pace for 8 laps right now. Oh my, Zach. That is awesome. Oh wow. If anybody's curious what I'm talking about in the Sidewinder Discord, they have the front clip of a next-gen Ford Mustang. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Now you gotta figure out where to put it. Greenwell starting to pull away from the rest of these guys. Meanwhile, Hagman, Koo, and Jackson all battling it out for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And meanwhile, Harry Grindell is making up time on these guys. They gotta be careful. Not give up too much time battling with each other. They'll add another car to the mix. Make sure to tune in after this race. We'll have the Golden Eagles Super Speedway Series at Talladega, I think, in the 1987 cars. Harry Grindell getting around Blake Jackson, who I think got another slowdown. Having trouble keeping it in track limits right now. Sorry, it's Daytona in the 87s. Apologies. Make sure to tune in for that. It'll be on the Wild Horse Broadcast Network in about 23 minutes. And then after that, we'll have the IndyCar Series, random IndyCar Series here on CTCRN at the Detroit Isle Street Course. So make sure to tune in for that. It should be a good one as well. If you'd like to race in it, make sure to join the Sidewinder Discord and sign up there. Links are in the description for those series. I'm not 100% sure if you'll be able to get in tonight, but definitely after this week you'll be able to join for sure. Greenwell is still trying to hold off Hagman. He has been all race. Blake Jackson looks to be trying to get back around Harry Brindell. So two pretty intense battles going on right now. We'll switch to the interval count on the tower. Jackson looks to the left side of Brindell. Bell looks to hold on there for now. As the real life Xfinity race just started, so I hope we can wrap this up pretty quick here because I want to get over and watch that. Oh, it did not just start. It started a while ago. Okay. 10 minutes left. Brindell and Jackson still in a heated battle here for top 5. Greenwell, decent gap back to Hagman. 2 car lengths, now up to a bus length. But about 6/10, so not a comfortable gap, just enough to where he's not looking in his mirror 24/7 right now. Cross it over, going to complete lap number 5 on to 6. So it should be 3 to go right now. Harry Brindell sets the fastest lap of the race amongst everybody, as Blake Jackson fell about 1.5 seconds behind him. Brindell is starting to reel in those cars in front, and it's not going to be long until he catches a whiff of that draft. But as I say that, he had a terrible corner right there, so it's going to be a little longer now. Side by side, Hagman
watch out, Andy.
Gets around Davis Greenwell. Never mind. Gives it right back up. Might have got a slowdown penalty. Yeah, understandable. I think, yeah, with, the 10 cars we have on track right now, I think a lot of these guys that are by themselves are probably pretty bored. One of those being Hayden Lowell in the lead, 10 seconds ahead of second place. Then John Neckrich on an island of his own. Andy Neckrich as well. Garrett Warren here. We'll give these guys some love, get their cars on TV, because they're not in the battles on track, so they're really not getting seen much. And then Cliff Mullins, he came back out. He's got a brand new car. I've been here. I wrecked out, got loose at Spa on lap 1, and pretty much the entire race I was by myself doing absolutely nothing. And I'm sure Cliff feels about the same way, as he's a minute from either direction from any other cars, so he's just out there running laps right now, hoping maybe somebody wrecks out and he can get a spot, or 2 or 3. Brindell now put a bit of a gap on Jackson, and he's about half second back from Matthew Koo. Oh yeah, the Juan and Goons cars have not had a great race so far, Greenwell being the exception. Matthew Koo having an issue. Sorry. Wasn't expecting something to happen, if I'm being honest. We're going to take a look at what happened right there. The 33. Car just steps out. Those Porsches, when they get to low fuel, oh, hard in that tire barrier. Loses the front bumper. That's going to be a fast repair, I think, unless he can limp it to the finish line. Those Porsches, especially all the rear and mid-engine cars, especially the Porsche because it's rear engine, I'm pretty sure. The fuel is in the front of the car, and as it runs out, you end up having more of the weight balance in the back. And it gets looser and looser as the race goes on. Sorry, gets more oversteer as the race goes on. And you end up with a very tough race car to drive for the end of the race if you set it up to be balanced at the start. Meanwhile, something like that Mercedes of Greenwell probably feeling very understeering right now because fuel tank's in the back like a normal car. And I mean, you can see it right there. He pushed pretty wide out of the chicane. I know the Mercedes feels pretty good on a longer run. It does a pretty good job of it, but something like the Mustang of Hayden Lowell, I've heard many times from people that they begin to be very tight or understeery, whichever you prefer, at the end of the run. And Hayden, I mean, he hasn't slowed down. He ran the fastest lap of the race there that time by, so it's not hurting him too bad. Doing a great job managing it. Closest battle on track is still Greenwell and Hagman. Everybody else is over 2 seconds apart. A little disappointed we didn't have a fuel stop in this. I know that hasn't been the norm in this series. I think we've been getting full fuel tanks, so I'm not surprised, but I'm a little disappointed because I think that would have thrown some strategy in it, deciding which lap to pit on. We're really only going to have two options, and it would definitely play a big factor. Should be coming to the white flag right here, I would think. We're trying to bring us home. We're on lap 7 right now, so we're definitely going to get 8 laps. Off the back bumper of Davis Greenwell. Started in 5th, now he's up in 2nd. I think he's going to be the biggest mover, although I think that's going to go to Harry Riddell. Started in 10th and now is in 4th. Those two guys have definitely made up the most out of anybody, I think. And through the final few corners, Hayden Lowell going to bring us to the white flag. Final lap here in France. These Sidewinder cars have made a long trip over here. Greenwell doing his best to hang on for this last lap. Even if he can take home that 2nd spot. Big run for the 12. Greenwell didn't get a great corner right there, and that's going to cost him. 12 using every bit of draft he can. Now moves to the left side. Grindel lurking in the background there. If these two fight it out too much, it'll open the door for Grindel to take home a podium spot. Hagman made the move into the chicane last time. We'll see if he can make it stick this time around. Do good on the brakes. Greenwald, another great job getting in that corner, and they're still side by side out of the first chicane. What can Greenwald do to hang on to this spot? Just about clear. Blocks the 12 to the left. Now the 12 goes to the right. And he'll have a good run. I think the Porsche is just a little bit better on the straightaway. Greenwald, I think he had a slowdown. He gives up both of those spots, and now Grindel up into third. Davis has had that second spot for about, I think, 3 or 4 laps at this point, and just got a little bit too far off the racing surface, and iRacing deemed that as an off track, and he gets the slowdown penalty. Now we'll see if he can battle back. He's got half a lap still at this point and a bunch of corners coming up, so it's not over yet for him. He's gonna have to get by Harry Grindel. He misses the corner off into the gravel, and he'll save it and get back on track.
Sorry,
but I think that's gonna
thank you for not
erase his chances of a podium.
I locked him dead.
He just locked him up trying to get in there and get that spot back.
I think I need some new underwear for that.
So Hagman now well ahead of Greenwald, but he's got Harry Grindel less than a second behind. Can Harry mount a run to get past that 12? I'm going to say no. That's a lot of ground to make up on somebody who's been pretty even on time with you. But he surprised me before. Through the final few corners, you start seeing those blue and yellow walls. You know you're making your way back to the front stretch. This is the actual racetrack portion of it, I think. And Hayden Lowell, he's just coasting it. Not sure what he's doing, but the battle for second is sort of on. Grindel's almost there, but he's not going to be able to do it. And off of the final turn, Hayden Lowell wins at Le Mans, followed by Marcus Hagman and Harry Grindel in third.
Oh, that's just the shittiest slowdown you can get, man.
Davis Greenwald hangs on to fourth. Blake Jackson takes home the top 5.
Yeah, that was fun. That was clean. I almost shit myself when we broke down for that 90
John Necker's going to come off in 6th. Matthew Koo with that destroyed front end on that Porsche. Going to take home a 7th. Looks like, as long as he makes it through this corner. Got a little loose. I was hoping I didn't curse him there. 7th for the 33. Andy Neckrich and Garrett Warren and Cliff Mullins. Everybody's still on the lead lap. Obviously, because they're 4-minute laps, it's going to be hard to get lapped here. Neckrich comes off. Andy Neckrich.
Hey, Cliff, word of advice. If you are
Cliff Mullins
0.1 ahead of somebody and you lose the line, probably not best to swerve right in front of them.
Cliff Mullins has a problem on the final lap as he's getting cussed out by somebody. Oh, he just
Thanks, coach.
He just called it right there. All right. Well, that's going to do it here in Le Mans. Now we're going to word with our top 3. We're going to word with our winner first and see if we get anybody else that comes up here. Hey, Hayden, it's Lucas. Oh. Hey, Hayden, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. We tried to move at the same time.
All right, man. Well, taking home the win in pretty easy fashion. You even slowed down at the end to taunt everybody, I guess. I don't know. How was it for you?
Well, I told you the gap wouldn't be more than 4 or 5 seconds, and it looks like I was right. Don't know how that happened. That's such an odd.
Only you would do that.
Yeah, I just kind of had a clean race. Kind of had a fun first lap battle, trying to break the draft and stuff. And it's Trent. Trent, we're live. How's it going?
He's here to take over his channel.
But no, we had a good race and just kind of kept it clean. And at one point, I heard Harry ran a 59.7, and I was like, all right, no, I want the fastest lap. And then I ran a 39.1. So, fun race. I like Le Mans. The Porsche curves are so fun when you can get them right. And yeah, good race.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on the win. Got anybody you want to shout out quick?
Napa Auto Parts. The brakes worked really, really well tonight. Arc Music, Madigan Motorsports, C2X for chilling with, let me hang out with them. You, Lucas, for doing a last-minute broadcast, and Swiss for putting on the lead.
Hey man, well, congrats on the win. We'll see you next week on Swiss Channel.
Yep, we'll see you. Brakes worked awesome tonight.
Okay, well, that's gonna do it for us in Le Mans. Thank you all for watching. We'll move on to the Super Speedway Series in Daytona on the Wild Horse Broadcasting Channel. Trenton, tell them to get over there right now.
Get up, y'all!
Okay. All right, see you guys.